What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the second album by rapper Wale. Basically this product is called Ambition and it came out in the fall of 2011. So this is a particular product here that I remember more of Wale back in those days as far as those pitches can happen with it. Definitely some blitzing type of appeal, and this album is far better than expected that I originally thought of it. Not to say like I was underestimating it with the pitch, but just kind of the format. I've purchased this album and owned it for quite a while, but it's just the pitch as far as listening to it full bound within some of those type pitches apart from the singles. There is a lot of high-grade appeal out this product, and it's a similar type fashion of Wale being on more white-collar type music and pitches like that with some of that kind of penthouse type gloss and pitches like that. This has a lot of appeal. Same sort of enriched type fashion. This has a little bit bigger budget and more kind of star-studded guests off this particular fair as far as this pitch can happen. It's not that the previous one did, and that definitely has some big guests on there. Definitely had songs with Gucci Mane, Lady Gaga, Jasmine Sullivan, folks like that. Some of those type folks in particular, Bun B, folks like that. But just the pitch as far as saying this particular album here has the backing of Rick Ross, as Wale signed to Maybach Music Group label in like the fall of 2010 or early 2011 as far as what's supposed to happen. He was a part of like Self-Made Volume 1, which I reviewed back in the day as far as what's supposed to happen. I reviewed all three of the Self-Made volumes, definitely within pitches like that, but this particular album is a pretty hefty juggernaut within some of those pitches. It's actually pretty damn inspired within the pitch behind it. It's just an excellent aspect to kind of get this burst of energy. Now, despite like the concept of it, where Meek Mill kind of approached like the Rick Ross label signing with more drill type numbers and more Lex Luger kind of cuts like that, this particular one has a lot more butter smooth type factor and a lot more loftiness kind of within a penthouse type sense, a lot more graceful and blue blood within the aspect of it. I definitely have to say here within the pitch as far as those. Definitely say within the pitch as far as those formats can happen. This has some pretty glossy type of appeal, and particularly there's a song off this album that has over 230 million plays, which is excellent type of appeal within those aspects. Definitely a pretty streaming classic, which would be Lotus, Flower Bomb as far as those pitch can happen. So it's just within the appeal as far as saying that the particular glamour about this album, it's a pretty much suave. This album is definitely suave within some of those pitches within the format as to how it particularly goes. And it's the extra back into Rick Ross. He is on here a couple times. He's not on here just once. The Maybach Music folks are on here just within the gloss behind it. But the fashion and the thing about this particular album compared to like Attention Deficit from 2009 is the pitch as far as saying that that particular one definitely had some lofty type moments on there as well, kind of flamboyant within the aspect of just more debonair typeness and pitches like that. But this particular one steps out in the dance club a little bit. It has the aspect of like former complaints I was talking about. Despite the fact that I gave Attention Deficit a 10, I still had the concept as far as saying that it was not full-bound feral within pitch, that this was a little bit more on leash type formats in terms of flames nearby and pitches like that. But say within this particular one, has the same relative aspect of the aspect, not as full-bound leash, but within a pitch as far as saying that there are some moments within the step out of being like, hey, I am going to go out to a minty kind of dance club pitches like that and get some drinks in my system, so on stuff format. So it's just a little bit more within the glamour as far as saying that the pitch behind it, where you do realize that you're going to get tore up a little bit, but it's not as quite as much. It's not as much chained to the dog post as far as this pitch will kind of happen with the aspect. It was definitely some good type of appeal. I do like the aspect as far as getting hammered out of your mind pitches like that, or do definitely like the aspect of some of these socialite do definitely like the concept of some of these socialized type moments just in the pitch as far as getting towards it. And just the pitch, this is kind of this like more of like a rich version of Rick Ross. It's kind of within the pitch. If Rick Ross were a little bit more within the aspect of this more indulgent in like places, like Rick Ross did have some moments where he kind of was in like more of like Rick Ross was kind of in more moments like songs like Magnificent and Maybach Music, where he was buying expensive cars and expensive clothes, some of those type pitches, like when he talks about being Giuseppe and kind of Rick Ross talks about being like a Giuseppe and Versace kind of carnivore as far as this pitch can happen. It's just the excellent aspect to be able to get some of those type of appeals. I'm losing track of the point I was trying to make within some of those type of aspects, but it's just the pitch as far as Wale being a little bit more indulgent amongst like blue blood lifestyles within the pitch as far as having that particular ambience of just getting used to more things within a pitch, of just more white collar type formats, not being a visitor as much full bounce. It's just kind of within the pitch as far as saying, so it's just within the pitch of getting, it's just within the pitch as far as getting towards some of those type products that like some socialized. I mean, this is a pretty glamorous type album. Definitely the aspect, just very quick within the aspect, even if it's not the point of just like I mean, this has a good glamour about it. It's just the pitch. This is a very social, festive type product. It has some step out within the sense, has some mixtape centricness, more in like the more thought provoking type ones within the pitch of this. Not so much thought provoking in terms of like square like, but this the actual pitch of this rumination out and about with like some aspects of this kind of on the go typeness, where it is just getting supply runs, getting like some boxes of beer, some formats for like the in between type moments. Is the pitch. But yeah, I'll go ahead and talk about this. There's a lot to talk about this album just within the pitch as far as saying definite classic here. This would have to say Recommend every song in some fashion. There's only one almost song out of the 16 songs. I'm reviewing the deluxe edition with the 2 extra songs from iTunes. That's the pitch. So 15.5 out of 16, basic enough to say this album gets a 10 out of 10. This was then format. So Chain Music was the lead single. It's like a sleek, kind of low-key venue thump to kind of get here. Definitely it's like a get crunk and razzled kind of dance kickoff, I'd have to say. And it's just great for like a wavy night as far as those appeals can have. So this was the pitch. Real nice hammering type one. Real excellent. Chain music is a real excellent aspect to kick off the album as far as those first can happen. Just get to know Wale in a more pizzazz-ful and just immediate type sense. It's definitely a good aspect to have for some of these type of appeals. It's kind of the format. Now, obviously, songs like That Way and Lotus Flower Bomb had a lot more appeal around those times, around the fall of 2011 and early 2012, some of those type pitches. But it's just the format in terms of like a typical type rap song that I felt like songs like Chain Music and Bait were definitely songs within those particular pitches as far as talking about it, that attention deficit did not have its full bound. It's kind of the aspect as far as Wale kind of being a little bit more ground level within a concept of just more socialized with more tall T type format, just the pitch of just like a little bit of standard kind of ground level type dap, just in the pitch as far as saying the conduct of just getting like some dance venues and having the product to just like some loosen up within some of those type pitches. Just kind of the product as far as saying, but there are elaborate songs on here as well. There are some enriched type ones within those formats, typical kind of Wale, but some of these type ones, the first 2 singles, Chain Music and Bait, definitely have a different type format where it's just a little bit more glamour within the pitch, just more kind of ravenous, just within a fashion of something you'd probably catch from someone like more typical kind of rappers out of 2011 pitches like that. It just feels like your standard kind of early 2010s club song within some of those type pitches. So definitely good type of appeal. Bait is the second single. It's another nice one within those conducts. It's like a snazzy kind of late 2000s styled step out to kind of get within the aspects here. Just a promo night and commotion. I'd have to say it's like a promo night and commotion as far as those pairs going to have. Definitely some commotion fun. I'd have to say it's like some ice cold glitzing as far as those pairs going to have. So this one feels like it probably could. There's some folks on here as far as those pairs going to have. I'm going to look up and see what beat was produced by DJ Toomp. Yeah, the DJ Toomp beat was legendary, so some good folks on here like Diplo and T-Minus, folks like that produced for Lil Wayne and some of these type folks in particular, other early 2010s folks. The Business is on here. I guess DJ Toomp's on here twice, which is interesting that Wale did songs with DJ Toomp. You wouldn't expect that to kind of particularly happen within those pitches. Kind of I didn't think that he produced for too many folks outside of T.I. was a good type pitch that he was on here. Lex Luger produces a song on here. J. Cole did a track on here. I guess surprisingly there's a 17th song. It's too bad that that song didn't show up on the album as far as this pitch can happen. Bad Girls Club, there's a song with J. Cole in there. I'm not going to review that one within the pitch, but I probably estimate that's another excellent type song within the pitch. But just being able to say, in the format, good type pitches, get some of that particular type format. It just feels like a Justice League or like Drum Boy type production. Some of those particular type appeals. It's some promo type step out, ripped out of 2008, 2009, some of those type fairs. Lotus Flower Bomb is the most popular song off this album as far as those pitches can happen according to Spotify. Like I said, over 230 million plays. Definite pretty huge type song out of the early 2010s, especially in like R&B and rap type sense within the pitch behind it, more rhythmic within those formats. Definitely had that blitzing. This is a pretty centered early 2010s staple, I'd say. Maybe not full bound to like the pitch alike, but this had a lot of crossover appeal about it. This is definitely a good staple to kind of have like some products that folks who probably remember early 2010s, 14, 15, 16 years ago, some of those type formats with it. Lotus Flower Bomb has an excellent Miguel hook, just to say he knocks it out of the park, and Wale has a lot of good hooks on this particular album. Even songs that don't have R&B singers like Lloyd or Jeremiah or Miguel, some of those type folks. There are some other ones on here that have some good aspects as well. This is a pretty contemporary type album, definitely the aspect, real easy on the aspect of the ear as far as this pitch can have, just real kind of melodic and pitches like that, just good serenade, some of those type of appeals. But Lotus Flower Bomb, it's like a butter smooth kind of serenade, midday kind of ambience kind of get here, just good concept for that, just some extra time kind of hotel gloss as far as this pitch can happen. Within the pitches, just a couple extra ones that just have like some summer spare time within those pitches, just like some frogs, just kind of in a lazy type sense, just kind of a simple kind of plain as day, no clouds in the sky, kind of orange skies type pitch within the format of it. Some good type lazy kind of after effects that just like some time wasting pitches like that. Say Lotus Flower Bomb, Sabotage, Illest Bitch, some of those type ones have those particular type formats, just hotel malaise and pitches like that, some good type appeals. But Focus is a nice one. This Focus has a Kid Cudi hook on here who does good with that particular aspect. A good type pitch gets some of that type of appeal, because Kid Cudi, judging by the Kid Cudi with huge smashes that he had off of his 2009 album Man on the Moon, and then also like Day and Night, some of those type pitches were definitely some excellent type appeals, so it's good type fare. But Focus is a nice one. Focus like a vintage kind of early 2010s mixtape hustle grit to kind of get within the aspects here to stack up, I'd say, feeling ritzy and alive, I'd say about this song, real lit type one. Focus just feels like one of your typical kind of early 2010s mixtape tunes, just within the pitch, like I was saying, just good type aspect. Feels ripped out of Dream Chasers, just feels like a Meek Mill, Yo Gotti, Rick Ross type one within some of those type aspects. This particularly has some commercial type appeal with adding Kid Cudi to the hook and pitch like that. Just some good type aspects that just like some real good glamour and just the aspect of really feeling lively and just really feeling lively and sprightly as far as this pitch can happen. Just a real ritzy type one, just the aspect of enriched just within the sense, but also just alive as far as this pitch can happen. So just real nice litty type one. Then Sabotage is the fifth single. It's another nice one here to get within the aspects of it. It's like a summer evening glaze kind of get here and embalm, I definitely say within the product of it. Just some golden embellished, I'd say. Just good relax about that particular affair as far as this pitch can happen. Good smoke up type song with the pitch, good for some grazing as far as this pitch can happen. Just after effect of just neighborhood aspects, just within the tone behind it, whether it is just hotel nearby or just pitches, whether it is just some hotel shine or just some neighborhood, just aspects of just after effect of hangout type fashions with the pitch, and just some lazy skies kind of feel good within some of those type aspects of it. Just basic kind of mojito type music, I say within a lot of aspects. Just simple kind of mojito and just Malibu rum, some of those type pitches within the format. Just simple kind of aspect within the pitch, of just like easy kind of unwind within the format of it. Good pink and orange skies, just pitches like that, just simple. Probably say just a typical kind of lackadaisical August type day, some of those type forms. I mean, within the pitch of it, it's not as full bound within the crest of summer where it's going to be the hottest day of the year, or the hottest week of the year, or hottest couple of weeks of the year, like June, July pitches like that. But just the after effect, like a simmering kind of late August, early September kind of day, something like that. Some of those type pitches, just appreciating the sunlight, some of those type fares. Good aspect for some of those. Look after it. So yeah, like I was saying, recommend every song on here minus the Almost song is Legendary. Just talk about this one. Legendary is like a harrowing kind of real talk kind of city grime to kind of get with the aspects here. Just mush along, and I'd say some bill paying kind of snack run routine as far as this first game. So it's a good type pitch for this particular song. It's just the aspect as far as saying this particular production fair is the one that sticks out the most in terms of the format of just something that's just not like the typical theme of how the product of this album kind of goes. Just a little bit more of like a grime type factor that feels more Mobb Deep like and more kind of like folks like that, a little bit Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, some of those type folks within the format, just something more NY flavor, just a little bit more skyscraper kind of weaving. I think Legendary has like some good snack run vibes about it, just within the pitch, like the relative aspect of just kind of like some city traverse pitches like that, just kind of in between type moments of just picking up probably like, you know, good type stuff, getting like some combos, some of those type formats, or corn nuts, some of those particular type fashions, but just within the pitch as far as saying it is not as melodic as probably like the aspect kind of behind it. It just has like the harrow about it, just more of a little bit more kind of just like gnarled kind of just real talk type fashions about that, just within the pitch as far as saying if you're not in the mode, if you're just looking for something a little bit more comfortable, or just the aspect a little bit more symphonic, doesn't have its full bound with it, it's just a little bit within the aspect of like that particular kind of city paranoia about it. It's just within the pitch. But yeah, there are plenty of excellent songs in here. So another single off this product that was not promoted as a single according to Wikipedia was definitely one I remember on like TV, radio, and pitches like that. Some of that formats that was basically another popular single off this album was That Way with Rick Ross and Jeremiah. It's definitely one of the best songs off the album. I'd say it's like a vintage kind of early 2010s pull aside. I'd have to say here. It's like a vintage kind of early 2010s pull aside glitter, kind of get within the aspects of That Way is like a vintage kind of early 2010s pull aside glitter and swing as far as those aspects going to happen with it. Just some summer side kind of sunlight, I'd have to say here. Great song to drink up to as far as those formats going to happen. So it's definitely a poolside type one pitch just like that. It's the same sort of format as Lotus Flower Bomb. It's the same sort of format as Lotus Flower. That Way is like the same sort of format as Lotus Flower Bomb, Stones type pitch. It's really all of the R&B singers on here. Neo, Lloyd, Miguel, Jeremiah, all these particular folks knock these out of the park. It's just as good summer side kind of aspects, like some good, just kind of lazy, kind of golden aspects, like some simple kind of robe music and retires for those aspects can happen. Just a little bit of like basic kind of cozy goings as far as this pitch can happen. So then pitch as far as saying just good, easy. Yeah, when I say pull aside, just the aspect of just kind of noticed and flame, getting some pull aside, just the aspect of saying, hey, I'm talking to you. It's some easy kind of pull aside, like, hey, gotta holla at you, some pitches like that, just in the format as far as those fairs going to happen, just in the tone as far as those pitches will kind of go. Just a good swing about it, but easy kind of enough format to get some drinks up as far as those pitches can happen, just the aspects as far as those fairs going to happen. And some good kind of white collar. There's a series of real excellent kind of white collar type moments off here, like Double M Genius and Miami Nights, and probably White Linen Coolin', I'd have to say as well. Double M Genius, like a jazzy kind of feeling, ritzy kind of penthouse and elaborate mingled, kind of get within the aspects here. There's some white collar out as far as this pitch can happen. So just the format of just feeling step out within a sense. This is something that Jay-Z would have done with like the American Gangster album pitches like that from 2007 when you think of songs like Rock Boys, some of those type ones. It's that same sort of aspect. This is Rick Ross on just like a more kind of like jazzy kind of step out within the pitch. Definitely something Rick Ross would have done with like The Devil Is a Lie, some of those type pitches, those sorts of formats that just are like white collar within a sense, but just kind of in a groove about it. Not so much calm and collected, but actually feeling a little bit of busting like a mild move. Some of those type pitches, just the format of just kind of being within that particular tone, ditching the blazer, but still being somewhat suited up, but just kind of pitch it just not with the blazer on. Some of those type formats. Miami Nights is another quality one within some of those type pitches, like a spiffy and enamored kind of city lights starriness to kind of get within the aspects here, just sports game and kind of social vibe about it as far as this first can happen. So this one has a little bit, basically like a 2000s type fashion of like mid 2000s when you think of DJ drama. Some of those type folks ripped out of 2006 where it'd be good football game kind of noise pitches like that, just a little bit more elaborate where there'd be more starry type aspects where it's not so much just like a neighborhood kind of more college sports game, but actually like a place where it would be something like when you think of like Miami Dolphins or New York Giants, some of those type pitches where it'd be a little bit more elaborate, where it has maybe a little bit more just kind of full boundness with the aspect, just more starry with the aspect, but definitely it's like a good early 2010s version, like vintage kind of DJ drama hustle as far as those formats can have a good type pitch. White Linden Coolin's a real nice one. This has an excellent neo hook on here and just overall smooth type one. It's like a vintage kind of neo vibes about this particular song here. It definitely fits in pretty well. It fits Wale well as well within those pitches. Just a city kind of homebound. Yeah, it's like a city kind of more homebound. So basically this is the format of living in like the city, but also just being more around the neighborhood pitches like that. Just kind of good gussy up pitches like that. Just get dressed up, real minty pitches like that. Just some chillax type music and just some flame catering as far as those pitches can happen. So just pour like a nearby Bella, like a drink pitches like that. Clipper nails some of those particular type formats within the pitch as far as those pitches can happen. Just amidst like the particular tone of just like simple catering, some of those particular type aspects, just the aspect of just kind of the prep of just figuring out like whether it is gonna, just the prep of figuring out how a starry kind of city night's gonna pop off within some of those type pitches. Just the format of like some good type fashion within like the neighborhood, just rousing as far as those pitches can have within things having primers for it, good type tone. Ambition, the title track, is a quality one. This has Meek Mill and Rick Ross on there, which is some pretty good appeal. It's like an early bird kind of self-made too kind of vibes about this song here. Just glossy, kind of out in the wind, I'd say, within pitches like that. Just definitely air and run type music within the pitch. Just some extra grind as far as this pitch can happen. So there are some grind mode type songs on here, like I was saying, good pitches, like obviously like songs like Legendary, DC or Nothing. Some of those type pitches, Don't Hold Your Applause, some of those particular type appeals. There's just a series of these on here, the type fashion. Yeah, but Ambition is just a real glossy type one within the pitch. It's just like simple kind of cruise rounds pitches like that. Same sort of format as like songs like DC or Nothing. Some of those type pitches within the aspect of it. Just good type tones for some of those type of appeals. Speaking of DC or Nothing, this is a real hitting type one as well. It's like a gritty but flashy kind of in drive mode type aspects for those first gonna happen. By drive mode, I just mean the grit of it. Just more kind of just grind within the aspects for those tones gonna happen. A personal type song, but this song definitely reminds of like Paper Trail and Deeper Than Rap. Paper Trail by T.I., Deeper Than Rap by Rick Ross. Some of those particular type formats just amidst like kind of like a pop rap type tune, but just from the aspect, just a little bit more grit about it within the aspect. Just kind of like a song that T.I. would have done, like something like Ready for Whatever, or one of those type of ones, like Live Your Life. Not quite as like pop rap, not quite as pop ready as Live Your Life, but just in the pitch as far as that same sort of mode where it just kind of has like typical type of rags to riches type format. Just like the grit of just having the grit about being in hustle mode type for a song, but just a little bit more commercial about it. It's just the pitch as far as getting towards some of that. It also gives off some of those same sort of vibes that Rick Ross kind of did with Deeper Than Rap, but just a little bit glamorous, but just within the edge type fashion of it. Another grind type song within the pitch would be Don't Hold Your Applause. It's definitely excellent intro as far as this pitch can happen. It's like some city bravado and pizzazz kind of get here. Just a mixtape like rumination, I had saying, just kind of on your grizzly as far as this pitch can happen. So just the pitch. There are a number of mixtape type hustle songs on here as far as this pitch can happen. So amidst like some of this glamour and pitches like that, there is a decent mode of having like these aspects of like some push longs as far as getting towards the concept, but just getting on like the mode. I mean, it does it within an aspect of this being within a bustle type mode within it, but it actually has the concept of just being quick and brisk as far as those first can happen. So just the pitch. Yeah, but Don't Hold Your Applause, just like some basic kind of rumination pitches like that. Just kind of mixtape type mode within some of the stuff formats. That just kind of like the Deeper Than Rap kind of glamour pitches like that. Deeper Than Rap, Teflon. Basic kind of lofty type grit within pitches of like Deeper Than Rap and Teflon Don. Some of those type formats when you think of songs like Number One off of Teflon Don. Some of those type of appeals. kind of a good mixtape mode type kickoff to the album as far as what's first gonna happen. I'd say Illest Bitch is a nice one. I don't think I talked about this one. It's a good type of feel. It's like some day shift slag and malaise kind of get within the aspects here. This one goes with Sabotage pretty well. I'd say a little bit more dredgy though. I'd say, and just with an aspect of being more straightforward. So it's just more typical kind of 4 o'clock p.m. Just more with an aspect of usual type fare. Not so much like the Glamour as much full bound, but just kind of a more makeshift type one within a sense. Just some evening kind of settle in. Some evening kind of relax and chillax within the formats of it, but just kind of more amidst like a little bit more straightforward and normal within the aspects as far as those tones can happen. So just the pitch as far as saying it's more usual type of just regular type fashions behind it, but it's good type of appeal compared to some of the glamour of like Sabotage that way, some of those type ones within the pitch behind it's just good type fashion, White Linen, Cool, and some of those type ones, but just good type pitch. So I look after it. No Days Off is a nice one. This has some good type of appeal about it. This like a lofty kind of city evening outing rumination kind of get within these aspects here, just like No Days Off is like a lofty kind of city evening outing rumination kind of get just like Ross and like is like Rick Ross and just the more hero type aspect within the pitch behind it, just kind of in grind mode as far as this first comes. So just kind of aspect of just something. No Days Off is actually one of the darker songs off this album in terms of the format of it. Just kind of one of those type ones that Rick Ross would kind of do in a more balcony type setting, just a little bit more higher up in like the city buildings, pitch like that. Just more of like a power rap kind of fashion within the pitch behind it. It's a good type tone for some of those type ones. Just money, power, and respect type song within the pitch behind it, but just kind of a brooding type one with the aspect, with just kind of a grit type song with the aspects as far as this first gonna happen. Just typical kind of Maybach music type template as far as this first gonna happen. Feels like Rick Ross should be on here, but Wale does a pretty excellent job with this particular song. So good type pitch. And then Slight Work with Big Sean's a nice one. It's like a throwback kind of 2000s club bounce kind of get here. I think this is like a Youngblood song, something like that. It definitely reminds me of like Youngblood. It's one of those type songs that was off of like 2002, 2003. I forget the name of the song, but I know that Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj rapped to it off of like the Drought 3 as far as this format's gonna happen. I can't remember the full band name, but something within that aspect. And it's like a minimal in terms of the production type, it's like a minimalist kind of Friday blitzing kind of get within those aspects. So definitely a good one to get hammered to when you think Big Sean was pretty good at cranking out songs like this back in 2011 when you think of songs like I Do It and like Dance or Ass, that particular song that had Nicki Minaj on there on the remix, some of those type ones that he particularly did with that album. So it's just a good pitch to get like a minimalist type one where you just go in and get lyrical to as far as those formats can happen. Just a basic kind of stunt nightclub type bounce within pitch as far as getting tore up. Definitely some good nice ones. Good 1-2-3 punch with chain music and bait, some of those type pitches within the format as far as getting another one like Slight Work. So it's just a pitch as far as saying that you do get a series of dance club kind of night venue blitzers from Wale as far as those pitch can happen. So it has that amongst all the things that this album flavorfully kind of has those good aspects. So yeah, this album gets a 10 out of 10 here. I talked about every song within those fashions. The social score I'm going to go ahead and give pretty much like a 10 out of 10 as well. This has a lot of good blitzing appeals. 6 singles off this album. A lot of good R&B type flavor type one. Some excellent hooks. Some grade A hooks from Miguel, Kid Cudi, Lloyd, Neo, and Jeremiah. Definitely excellent type appeals. Some excellent productions on here. Some social type glamour, real white collar type aspects within some of this type aspect. Like some good type moments to kind of have for some step out amidst that. Some mixtape type formats. Some in-between kind of mixtape type formats on here for like supply runs and just traverse pitches like that. Get some shit done. Some of those type of appeals. Also within the aspect as far as saying getting some of these hustle mode type songs like a mixtape type format within the pitch as far as talking about like the DJ drama type, just push along as far as those first gonna happen. You get some good commerce type moments to get some shit done amidst those formats, and like also like a DJ drama type mixtape hustle, some of those particular type appeals as far as those formats would kind of happen just amidst like the push of just like standard kind of just grind and just the aspect of just being productive as far as those first happen. But it also does in like a white collar type sense. Like I said, the moments on here as far as like some stylish type ones does have some dance club blitzers, a little bit of social pizzazz for like Friday type appeal, and then of course just like a great series of like hotel and kind of summerside poolside kind of lady songs within some of those type aspects. So it just has a good arrangement. Some of these type fashions very glamorous, very quick within the aspect, very esteemed, very elaborate, very kind of debonair within some of those type products. Not quite as like flamboyant and more Kanye West and Kid Cudi type fashion like 2009 was, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying that it does have the caviar and just finer kind of silverware and white plate kind of fashions within the pitch behind. So just the aspects as far as saying nails those tones. If you combine that with like some Rick Ross kind of aesthetics from like the Maybach music group and the blooming label that was going on around that time in the early 2010s, this is just overall pretty beefy type production type album within the pitch. So definitely has those formats. So nails that appeal. So 10 social. So in terms of the future, like Wale is supposedly working on some stuff as far as those formats going to happen just within pitch. As far as talking about, I reviewed a couple of his products now. There's some ones I'm going to get to more in like the future as far as what's going to happen. I do at least own like his 2013 album as well, the one that came after this one's within pitch. I'm going to get to some of those type ones. I might get to his 2012 mixtape Fuller in as well. Some of those particular type pitches. We'll get to some more of these type fashions. But this is a classic here, kind of off to the wayside within certain senses, but definitely off to the wayside in certain senses, but definitely a very unsung type album that has the pitch of having like some flames on it. That's definitely worth the investment.